how I went from working my tolerance job, my stepping stone job, to working my dream job. 7 a.m. in Malaysia. I knew from a very early age that I wanted happiness, freedom. It would be lovely, that would be really lovely, like complete freedom to do what I wanted, be my own boss, go where I wanted to go. And of course, happiness being at the root of that. I never really thought about the money, I just thought about the feeling of having freedom was always a major, major drive. In my case, growing up, music was my number one. It was my first true love. And as I've gone through life, I've learned that I can coach and create courses and teach one-to-one, and I love this as well. Balancing the two worlds is my mission, and giving back, essentially, is the greatest gift from all of the struggle, all the pain. It's all relative to all of us. Giving back to the earth is the ultimate goal. Being able to provide for other people is my personal ultimate goal. So for you, what is it? What is the big mission? What is the medium mission? What is the dream goal? Start there, have a moment, pause the video, just think about what is that one thing that you have to experience while you're alive in this lifetime. And let's go. So if you watch my videos, you know my story, struggle through school, or lack of self-worth, self-love, drugs, alcohol, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, heavy metal band, on tour, woe is me, difficult, burnout, working in pubs, burnout, rock bomb. After that, I turned back to spirituality. It got me, it saved me. I went back to Ram Dass. I went back to this one book my dad gave me when I was 15. I consumed it and I started to implement the stuff. Eckhart Tolle, Louise Hay, Joe Dispenza, all of the greats, you know the people, all of the great teachers out there. I consumed it, I applied it all, and I started to meditate. I started to do yoga. I started to do qigong. I started to write down my thoughts. I started to wake up earlier. I started to try and go to sleep earlier. I tried to create routine. I failed. I moved into becoming a new person, a new version of myself. I stopped doing the bad things and I started doing more of the good things. And I know that sounds ridiculously simple, but I'm a simple kind of guy. I needed simple things to stick to. Do less bad, do more good. Keep doing that. Your environment changes, you change, everything changes. Do less bad, do more good. Every day, do less bad things. And you decide what's good and bad. Just do less bad things. You know what they are. Do more good things. Keep doing that. Life will get better. It has to. It has to. Logically, it has to. After all of the struggle and the not knowing who I was and the just going through it and all the alcoholism and all the stuff, I started to break out of that. I started to dissolve a lot of the tendencies and the habits I was stuck in, the patterns I was stuck in. I started to see a change. You know, some could call it an awakening. A lot of people have these moments in life, I've noticed, when you follow this self-development spiritual path. A lot just drops off, falls away, and you see new perspectives of life and other ways of seeing life, and you feel different. We all have our own stories. So I started doing film extra TV work, you know, the background in film and TV, and at first it was amazing. It was really good money, it was flexible, it meant that I could still do other things. I never had like a good chunk of money like that, so that was fun. And I got to see these amazing places all around London, these buildings you'd never have access to. I saw incredible set design, which was just mind-blowing. Fantastic Beasts was a particular favorite. Not seen the film, I'm sure it's good. Don't get angry at me, you crazy Potter fans. I think I told you that story at some point. I was on that job and someone was talking and I said, "What's a muggle?" And like a whole room full of people went and looked at me, and I was like, oh my god, is this a cult? Harry Potter, it is a cult. I was in it. I was in a fake shop on a fake street in different worlds. It was amazing. I met some incredible people, some people who I'm still friends with today. They've become clients. And it was a wonderful time when I started. Everything's two things. It's the duality of life. And I went into this as a stepping stone job, as a tolerance job to get to my dream, which was to have land and to have animals, and my wife could have her healing sanctuary on there, and I'd have a steam and a sauna and a cold plunge and a salt water pool. All I need is a dusty road, sunshine, and a steam and a sauna, and then I'm just happy as. Oh, actually, rehearsal rooms and a music studio and just all of the things I would love all in one place. Like, that's just the dream. Like, why not have a dream? And this job was a stepping stone to that dream. I didn't know how to get to that dream, but this just was a stepping stone. I did it for too long. I did it for 5 years, and I got very tired, very old, and very jaded. So I'd see the new people come in and go, oh, it's amazing. And I'd be like, yeah, like an old timer, like a veteran. And I knew how it worked. I got to see the politics. I got to see the inner workings of how film and TV is made. And I got to see all of those A-list actors. Some, throw out some names. Meryl Streep sat next to Helena Bonham. You know the one, that one. We had a big chat. And then they shot the thing, and there's Brad Pitt there, and there's Cumberbatch and Hugh Grant and Idris Elba, and like literally all of the people. By 6 months in, I couldn't care less. I literally couldn't care less. And, it was just, I got bitter because I wasn't doing my thing. I could no longer see art and TV and the acting. I could actually, some of it was fantastic, but in general, I was so angry that I wasn't doing that in some way that I got resentful. And I got very jaded. And I stopped hanging out with people. And I started sitting down with a pad and a pen and just started writing. And I was writing exercises for myself to do to keep me sane. That was basically what I was doing. Meditation practices, breathing exercises, focus on your dream, write out your dream again. Evolve that dream, what are the steps? Just keeping me stimulated on the big dream. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was doing it and I was sharing it with others. I was sharing it with other extras. I'd create 10 and I'd take them through this little journey and say, get me on WhatsApp and I'll give you a 10-step journey. And they were like, why are you doing this? And I said, I don't know, but it's good. Do you like it? And they were like, yeah. I said, well, I like it. Let's just keep going. I did this with loads of people. It must have looked absolutely crazy, but it kept me sane. It made people laugh. It helped people motivate people. And it eventually turned into what is now my big transformation course. So I was testing these methods on people for years. Trialing error. This doesn't work. That's not resonating. Tweaking them. And I did this with a guy. I've mentioned this before, so apologies, but I was giving this guy all these methods. He was getting better, and I think 2 years later he turned around and said, I want to pay you back. Life has profoundly changed, but I don't want to pay you with money. I want to help you in another way. And he was teaching me that I could do what I was doing online. So he helped me create a business, my Mindwave business, and now we're partners together. And it's such a great origin story for us both. It was based in love and sharing and bettering each other. So yeah, as I was saying, some of it was shit. Some of it was horrendous. And I've been in over 50 films and TV shows, like really big budget ones and really, really small jobs. So I've seen it all. It was amazing, but also horrendous, relatively speaking. So just a couple of stories. One, which I can't tell you who it was because we have to sign those non-disclosure things. Don't want to get sued. But one of these huge franchise films with one of the Hemsworths, I'll give you that. The hours were insane. The hours were illegal, basically. And, we'd signed up for this job. It was going to be X amount. It's a good chunk. So once you're in, and you can't leave. You're in. This particular job, I had to be up at 2. I had to get the bus at 3. I had to be on set for 4 a.m. in central London. And then when we were there, people wanted to sleep, so people were sleeping on benches, and then they were taking the benches away, saying no sleeping, no sleeping on benches. Health and safety, oh God forbid. People were just generally getting angrier and angrier as the days went on. We were showing up at that time, but then we weren't finishing till 10, getting home at 11, 3 hours sleep, you got to get straight to sleep. And then we did that for 5 days. People were losing their minds. It was just a weird, spacey time. But like any of these things, you build friendships, you learn discipline and strength. The things that I learned from those jobs were life-changing. Sometimes when we have to go through these things, we can look back and see that the next thing that comes through in our life, that comes up, that happens, maybe we'll be able to handle this one. It might still be tough, but maybe we'll be able to just handle it. It just is what is. And this is the gift from the horrendous and sad and difficult things that we experience in life. It doesn't make it easier, but it sometimes morphs into a gift that you can use for your present and future self. So a great thing to do is go back through your life at all the different jobs or situations you've had and see where you can see the positive. I got that from that. Okay, if I didn't do that, okay. My last job that I remember, where I was like, I was done. I was 5 years in. The dream was just all I could think about. Like, why are you not doing this dream? Why are you not doing the dream? Why are you not doing the dream? I couldn't take it anymore. I had to change something. I was losing it. I was absolutely losing it. I show up to this job. I'm signed on for 2 weeks. They dress me up in all the old war stuff, the 1916 era. I'm going to be like crawling around. And they said, we want to make it as real as possible, so we're going to add water. And my head started going, okay, water, 2 weeks, daily, shouting at, in all of this stuff, the hours. I'm out. I'm out. I just had to go. I'm done. And I needed some kind of plan. It was over. My little stepping stone, tolerance lifestyle jobs. This one. It was over. I had to look in the mirror and do the thing. So at this point, I'm burning out, proper life burnout. I'm using my time wisely, I'm noticing. On these jobs, there's hours that you're doing nothing. People are talking, people are playing games, people are trying to sleep. I was making up these things. I was making up these missions. I was creating something. I was writing. It was turning into something. And I knew it was to do with my dream, my goal, my vision, but I didn't quite have all the pieces. I didn't know how it all came together. I'm burning out because on the side, I'm managing my band. I'm trying to show up for rehearsal, record, write music, do the whole through the social media thing, having these two things going, doing night jobs. Got no money, no savings. It all just went. So I needed a plan. I needed to look at my vision, decide what it was, like really have a word in myself and go, what is your vision? If someone said to you, hey, what's your vision? You've got 20 seconds, go. I need to be able to go, okay, it's ba 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 and a steam room. So I did that, I created it, I created the story, I created the order of the story, which meant I might have to shelve the music stuff because if I wanted this business to work, what I was doing at the moment wasn't working. I've been trying it for years. So if you do the same stuff over and over again and you're not making any progress, something's not working, you've got to change something. And sometimes it's the honesty with yourself that's the killer. So next up, I needed 10 steps to make it real. What do I have to do to get from where I am now to that reality, to this reality? What do I have to do? One thing I did know was step number 3 was I needed the fear. Did you ever see that episode of Friends where Rachel had to get the fear leaving the coffee shop job so she could go and live her fashion dreams? She needed the fear of quitting the job. Quitting the job because then it plunges you into, oh my God, I've got to make it happen. And without the, oh my God, I've got to make it happen, we don't often make it happen. Sometimes when people have kids, it changes their whole world. And oh, I have to provide for child. Quitting the job is an incredible way. Years before that, I quit the pub and said, if anyone sees me working behind a bar that's not my bar, slap me round the face. I made a little Facebook post and I'm sticking to it. Ideally, you want to save up. You want to have a good few months' wages safely in the bank, and then you can do it with ease. That's the fear, sensibly. I did the fear not sensibly. I just quit, and I had literally enough to pay my rent and some bills, and that was it. So everything's gone to shit, but I feel closer to my dream because I'm doing the dream more than the stuff that I just couldn't do anymore. I got ready to dive into my dream. I didn't know how. I had to. It was survive tactics. No money in the bank, quit the job, let's just do this thing. So I'm teaching already one-to-one. I'm traveling all around London. So I went up to Scotland. I'm all over the place. I was spending money, going around. One guy thought he had a fiver and then realized he didn't. One girl said, "Oh, I didn't realize I'd have to pay," and I said, "Oh, you don't worry about it." It wasn't very sustainable. And my wife was going through a crisis at the time. She'd been working as a model for years, and she'd broken a leg, and it was difficult to get back in. And so I needed to provide for two people, and I needed to make it happen. So I told you about the essay, the extra that I was giving. I was like, you got to do this, got to do Qigong, do the meditation, here's the breathing, text me when you've done it, let's go. He got back to me at this point and said, you could do what you're doing in an online space, build courses, make it all easier for people to see you and reach more people. Tick, 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 okay, let's do it. Let's go. He came back into my life and made me make 10 videos. He's like, 10 videos, 20, 30 minutes each, 10 minutes, whatever. Just make 10 videos on your subject and just put them out there. And that was how I started. I just didn't stop. I just carried on showing up. Number one is the dream. Number two is start the dream. Number three is just keep going back to number two. And that's it. And you learn along the way. Nobody knows what they're doing. They know what they know. They say what they know. They package it the best way they can. They sell it to you or you sell it to them. That's all anyone's ever doing. Just start. Just do the thing. Whatever the thing is, big or small, just fucking do it. So this is it. 5 steps to your greatness. I was lost. I wasn't a loser, but I was a nice guy, but I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't very clever. I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't studying anything. I wasn't giving anything back. I wasn't contributing to anything. I was making people laugh and smile and feel okay. And I'd listen to people. I had invisible assets. That's my story. But that wasn't enough. In life, that's not enough. We've got to give rather than just constantly take. And my soul needed to do that. I wanted to be a giver. I didn't want to struggle and suffer. I wanted to thrive and expand and give and contribute. So number one is your plan. Create a plan to make that thing happen. What is your thing? Create a plan. It could be simply a few ideas, 10 steps that will obviously expand, and you'll do 10,000 steps. But start with 10 steps to get to this thing, whatever that thing is for you. Let me know down below what that thing is for you, and I'll encourage you all the way. Let's do this together. 10 steps. Go. Number 2, you've got to give yourself the fear. You don't have to give yourself the fear, but if you do, it kind of makes it more fun. Set yourself up. Give yourself the fear. Give yourself that springboard moment where you've jumped and that's it. You've jumped. You're about to dive. You might as well make your form as good as possible so you slide into the water. Number 3 is my favorite. It's amazing. It's brilliant. It's what most people don't do. And if they did do, it's the thing that will catapult them. So listen up. This is having the talk of the 2 worlds. Just made it up, but it sounds good and I'm keeping it. World number 1 is your ideal vision. You've already got the plan. It sounds amazing. You're excited. Like, it's doable. It's attainable. I can absolutely do this. Yes, I love this plan. I'm sold on my plan. There is 2 timelines of your story working out, the way that it works out perfectly and the way that it does not. Dive into this world for a couple of minutes max. What would happen if you didn't do all that? How would you feel? would that world look like if you never said that thing to that person, never found that person, never did that life dream, that goal, that vision, never created that thing, never looked how you really wanted to look, never went to that place? How would you feel if you didn't ever do that and you had to live with that? Forget about the things that you've already not done. Whatever. We've all not done a lot of stuff we wish we should have done, we've missed the boat, whatever. I'm talking about now and the future. So I don't want to hear about any of that stuff. That's for another time. Right now we're talking about what you can do, what you could do in the future if you actually decided to just go for it. So look at these two worlds. Look at that sad, horrible world and feel it. And then look at the happy one and pick one. I know this sounds so simple and it might sound patronizing, but I don't mean it to sound like that. Look at these two outcomes and pick one. If you're not ready to live your dream, this dream, by the way, could just be a small thing. It could be a conversation, it could be a job, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be something as grandiose as mine, having my own steam and sauna, my salt water pool and the cold plunge, you know, with the land and the farm and the healing sanctuary so people can come, and the sunshine and the land and the space. You know, it might not be your thing. Yours might be similar. It might just be smaller in comparison. So decide if you dare, go for it. And if honestly you're just not gonna, and this is it, and you can deal with that, then deal with it. Pick a world and deal with it. Deal with it if it's not as exciting and as good as the good one, and just, can you live with that? And maybe you can. Maybe you can. I can't. I want to tick off my boxes or die trying. That's just the way I'm wired, and I like it. Maybe you're the same. If you want to pick this world, it's time to fucking pick it. What are you waiting for? A certain shade of green? Are you waiting for someone to pick you up and just shout in your face? Pick a world. Pick the one that makes you feel awesome and amazing. You know, sack off that other world. Pick this world. Do your dream. Let's crack on. So number 4 is arm yourself with all the tools available, the things that make you smile, the things that you know work for you: meditation, yoga, breathing, thinking good, reading good material, hanging out with good people, doing good things, all of the stuff that you know is amazing for you. Do it. Do it as a lifestyle. Dive into it. Do it relentlessly and effortlessly and enjoy doing it. Don't see it as a chore. Bring in more good, do less bad. I was talking to someone who became a client, and she said on the phone, I'll never forget it, she goes, I'm really stuck, I don't know what to do. I really want to do your one-to-one coaching, and I really want to do the online course. They both sound absolutely amazing. I guess I'll just do them both. And that grew my consciousness and my self-worth as well. Wow, she wants to do both of these things. That's amazing. She's investing into herself. She wants to become the best version of herself. So she's setting herself up. Working with a coach is the greatest thing you could possibly do in any area of your life that you want to excel in. Having someone whisper in the ear, yeah, you can do this, here's the next step, go, 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 go. Doing that, an online course is everybody's amazing ideas in one place, a step-by-step plan. There's nothing better than reading books about what you need to know, getting a coach, doing a course, and just showing up and making it happen. So number 5 is to remember why. Why are you doing it? Why? What's it all for? What's getting you out of bed? What's helping you through that shitty job, or that shitty winter, or that too hot summer, whatever it is for you? Why? I wanted freedom. I've got my dream. I've told you my dream. What is your dream? Share it below. Please share it below. Just anything, one element from your dream. I'll encourage you all the way. Let's encourage each other to live the life that we want, no matter how big or small. Forget the past and think about now and the future, and creating that dream, moving into that dream at the very least. So if you want to move into your dream, you're ready, you want to expand these ideas, you like this face and the sound of my voice, if you want to really dive in and create this story, create your big picture, move into this new reality, equip yourself with all of these tools so you can go through life and be able to handle whatever comes up and matrix through and live and flow and live your dream life, whatever that is for you, then click the link below, take on the big transformation course. It will profoundly change your life forever, ever, ever. I'll see you on the next one. Watch this next video, it's awesome too. You're amazing. I can't wait to see you next time. Subscribe, like, blah, 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 all that stuff. Bye.